Find the mass of a plate in the form of a quadrant of an ellipse whose equation is x square divided by a square plus y square divided by b square, that is equal to 1, and whose density function is given by rho equal to c into xy, where c is a constant. So we have to find out the mass of the plate in the form of quadrant of a ellipse. This is a ellipse, and this is the major axis and semi-major axis from O to A, and the length of semi-major axis is A, and this is your minor axis from this to this. This is your minor axis, and this is your semi-major minor axis, and length of minor axis is B, and the ellipse have 4 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose you take this quadrant and you have to find out the mass of a plate having the form of this quadrant. Okay, and the equation of the ellipse is, this is the standard equation of ellipse, x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1, and the density function is given rho equal to c into xy. If the density function is given, you can find out the mass. If rho is the density function, density means mass by area. Here the surface density, rho is the surface density, so mass by area, and this is the area. So this will give you the integration of the density function dx dy will give you the mass. So this is a second order, this is a surface integral or double integral or surface integration. S is the surface density, sorry, rho is the surface density. So m can be written as, if you write rho equal to c into xy, then m will be equal to double integration or surface integration cxy dx dy. So what is the value of x? You see from the figure, it is clear that the value of x, when you integrate x, the value of x is from, or the limits of integration of x is from 0 to a. Similarly, what is the limits of integration for y? Y from 0 to this value which we replace or convert in terms of x and a. So if the equation is x square divided by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1, then y square will be equal to 1 minus x square by a square into b square. So y will be b into square root of 1 minus x square by a square. So you put the value of y here. That means the y value is from 0 to this value. So now you integrate for the mass of the plate. You integrate the density function, that is cxy dx dy, and when you integrate x, this is the limits of integration, and when you integrate y, this is the limit of integration, and when you integrate y, you keep x constant, and when you, here I have first integrated y, so I have kept x constant, so you kept x dx constant, and integration of y dy, that is equal to y square by 2, and the limits of integration of y is from 0 to b into 1 minus x square by a square square root. So limits of integration from 0 to b into 1 minus x square by a square square root. And if you put the limits of integration in place of y, then you take 2 outside, so c by 2 outside, integration from 0 to ax dx, and if you substitute y this much, then y square will be equal to b square into 1 minus x square by a square minus 0, because if you put the lower limit 0, that will be equal to 0. So if you solve it, this will be equal to b square into c divided by 2, and if you simplify it and take a square outside, then the numerator you have a square minus x square into x dx. So you now integrate it, this function, you integrate this function with respect to x. So integration of x dx, a square is constant, integration of x dx is x square by 2 minus integration of x cube dx, that is equal to x4 by 4, and limits of integration from 0 to a. So if you first put the upper limit a in place of x, this will be equal to a square into a square, a4 divided by 2, this term. Then next term is, if you put a here, a4 divided by 4, so this term, minus if you put the lower limit, this will be equal to 0 and this will be also equal to 0. Now solve it. B square c divided by 2a square by 2 minus a square by 4, this will be equal to a square by 4. That is 4a square minus 2a square. So sorry, here LCM is 4 and this is your 2a square minus 2a4 minus a4, so it is equal to a4 divided by 4. So b square c divided by 2a square into a4 divided by 4, so this will be equal to a square cancels, so 2 into 4 8, so b square c in the numerator a square into b square c divided by 8. So this is the mass of the plate, which is in the form of a quadrant of an ellipse, given ellipse, whose density function is given by rho equal to c into xy.